Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Rebecca Lombardo. I'm with TruPlace. Thank you so much for joining me on the Friday of a long weekend. That is pure dedication, people. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I promise to get through this very helpful information in a short amount of time so you can go enjoy your weekend, get your rosé on, all that fun stuff. So thank you again so much for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and start the presentation here in a minute. I'm going to let a few more people continue to log in. And while we're waiting for that, I want to let you know a few notes. One is that everybody is on mute today, so I will not be able to hear you if you ask a question. If you do have a question, just type it into that chat box there on your GoToWebinar control panel, and I promise to get to all of the questions at the end of today's presentation. If you think of a question after we wrap up today, no problem. Just shoot us an email and I can answer you that way. You will receive an email after we conclude today's webinar that should have a link to the recording. So if you just want to watch and kind of listen in and relax and let it cruise by, you're welcome to do so. No need to take notes. You will receive an email that has a link to the recording of today's webinar. So again, real quick, just to let you know, everybody is on mute, so I won't be able to hear you. If you pop a question into that chat box, I promise to get to your question at the end of today's presentation. If there are any questions I cannot answer today live, I promise to follow up by email. So once again, thank everybody so much for joining. My name is Rebecca Lombardo. I'm with TruPlace. I'm going to take you through today's presentation, and I want to make sure I get to all of the content. It's very fast and quick and easy, but we know you guys are going through kind of a stressful time right now. So we wanted to offer some ways to make your life easier. So that's what today's presentation is about. If anybody has any trouble with audio at all during today's presentation, feel free to just dial in using the phone number that came with the confirmation of your registration. You should be able to dial in by phone if you can't hear me through the audio. All right, so it looks like everybody is attached here and signed in and logged in and signed up. So it looks like we are ready to go. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to type them into that chat window. I will get to all the questions at the end of today's presentation. All right, we're going to start our 3 ways to make your life easier with the first one, which is our new product that's coming out called Talk Through Video. This is a property narrative that you guys are going to record on your cell phone, and we are going to insert into the tour. This is a great way to keep your face in front of your clients. This will help you sell the best features of the property without having to be there in person to walk somebody through the house. It will help you stay safe while still building relationships. So again, this is a talk through video that we're going to offer, and I'll show you where you can access it when it gets rolled out. This is a great way to really work on keeping your brand in front of your prospects and potential clients and potential buyers. It is a talk through video. It is TruPlace's first DIY product, so we're very excited about it. You'll basically just record a video on your cell phone. You can see my photo in the bottom left there. I just recorded that little video on my cell phone in my room. It was very safe. It was isolated, the whole shelter in place going on there. So I just pulled up my cell phone and got some good lighting, and I had my notes in front of me about this property, and I basically just talked through the property using the floor plan tour as a guide to explain what rooms I wanted the potential buyer to look at, why they should look at this house, and if there were any unique items that I wanted them to pay attention to as they were clicking through the floor plan tour. So when it first comes out, this will just go on to the floor plan tour, but eventually we'll work on adding it to other products as well. But this is going to make your life so much better when you don't have to stress about going into a house where a family is living there and they don't want you coming in because it's shelter in place and you want to stay in your own house. No stress. You can just record this little video, this talk through video on your cell phone, upload it to your client portal, and TruPlace will put it onto the property. So this is going to be great. This is going to be rolled out very soon. Pay attention to our emails. We'll let you know when it's announced, but it should be coming out in the next couple of weeks here. The next thing that's going to make your life very easy is this Mid-Atlantic listing concierge service. So we are partnering with Max Sale Price, sorry. So they're going to do the renovations, the staging, and the photography for zero out-of-pocket expense. They have a pay-at-close business model, and they have projected project managers who work on this from start to finish. They also have virtual estimates. So if you have a property that you're putting up for sale and you've basically told this home seller, look, this is not Instagram ready, folks. This really needs to be spruced up before we can send in TruPlace and get some good photos in here. If that's the case, if that's what you're facing, no sweat. We're going to work with somebody to help you renovate that property, and it's all a pay-at-close business model. So that's coming online from TruPlace as well. So again, just a few items here because we want you to just relax and stop stressing. If you have a property like this, let us know because we can work with you on this. And the third thing is that you can watch all of the previous webinars right on our website. All the previous webinars, even today's and other ones you may have missed, they're all on the TruPlace website under webinars. So you can just go back and watch all of those recordings at your leisure. If you don't understand how to get a hold of those or where to find those, just let us know. We can show you where to watch. But all of those recordings are available. We've had some really good previous webinars where we talked about having a virtual open house. We've had guests on our webinars as well. So if you want to check out our previous webinars, just go to our website, click on the menu, and click on webinars, and you can see all of our previous recordings of our webinars there. So before we go, I want to show you not just the live webinars page here where you can go back and watch all of the other videos, but I also want to show you the client portal. So if you are a client of TruPlace and you haven't been to your client portal lately, we've added this new welcome. So we're rolling out the welcome mat for you guys. This is a quick, very short video that's going to talk you through some of the offerings that we have. In case you haven't had a chance to speak with anybody in customer service, you can basically just come here and watch these videos. These will be great, very short videos where we'll update you on the exciting things that are happening at TruPlace. If you need your property list, it's still available right here under property list. I want to show you guys a couple of quick features here. If you click on the first image there all the way on the left under property, in case you haven't noticed this, just wanted to point out again a few things to make your life easier. There is a QR code here. You can download the QR code and print it out and slap it right on that for sale sign right out in front of the house. What that's going to allow someone to do is walk up to the sign, scan it on their phone, and tour the property inside. So because of everything that's going on with COVID and all of the shelter in place orders, we're trying to think of ways that would make everybody's life a little bit easier, put everybody at comfort levels where they feel like they could still get the information they need about the property they're interested in buying without putting their health potentially at risk, right? So the goal is to get all these potential buyers as much information about the property as possible so that if they do decide that they want to seriously put in an offer, then there's a fewer number of homes that they physically have to go inside, and there's a fewer number of people that you have to physically interact with. So that's kind of what we were thinking here. So if you download this QR code and print it out, you can attach it to that sign out in front of that house. And that allows anybody with a cell phone to just walk up to that sign, again, not touching it, just scanning it with their phone and getting access to that virtual tour. If you haven't used that in the past, I just want to make sure that you knew that that was there. Also, this is where your links are. So if you want to copy and paste these into Facebook or Instagram, you can do that as well. When you're ready to check out our talk through video, once that comes out over the next couple of weeks, you're just going to go up here to video. You'll click on talk through. Now, if you guys go to your client portal right now, you probably won't see this because this is just on my account login. But over the next couple of weeks, when you go to video, if you see that talk through there, you're going to click on talk through to get access to that feature. So then you're just going to come down here and you're going to upload, like I said, just record yourself on your phone, upload the video here, hit save, and then check the box that you want it to play on the tour. And then it will actually show up on the property tour. We're going to have instructions for all of this coming out over the next couple of weeks, but I just wanted to let you guys know that we have been thinking about you. We have been thinking about the challenges that you're facing. You know, you work so hard to build your brand, and then when things go online, you probably feel like your brand is disconnected a little bit, you know, from the actual properties that you're listing. So we put this together so that you guys can have a nicer way to kind of stay connected with your brand and the properties that you're listing. So there's my little video. Hi, I'm Rebecca. It'll just appear right there on that link. All right, I'm going to jump back over to the presentation now. We'll get to the end of today's presentation. So now we're going to turn to Q&A. So please feel free to ask questions about anything, by the way. If there's something I didn't cover that you were hoping to hear that you have a question about, please feel free to type that into the question and answer panel. I'm more than happy to get to all of these questions. Again, I'm just super thrilled that you guys took time out of your Friday right before a long weekend to participate. That really means a lot to me, so thank you. Okay, there's a question here about what is the length of the video that we can upload? So there is no limit to the length of the video that you can upload. However, I will tell you that if it's longer than 3 minutes, you're going to lose your audience. I think most of us have an attention span of like 30 seconds these days, thanks to social media and other things. So I would say that 3 minutes is probably the longest you want to do. You can go longer if you need to. After I did a couple of properties, I noticed that usually within 1.5 to 3 minutes, I had talked about all of the features of the property that I wanted to mention. So it's not a limit. I would just recommend 1.5 to 3 minutes there. There's a question about the audio here. Someone had trouble. If you had any trouble, again, you're going to get the recording, which will have the audio, so no sweat there. There's another question about the twilight shot. Okay, so virtual twilight is an enhancement that you can do on your photography. Let me see if I can pull up an example here. So when you put your photos on MLS and people are looking at houses and they're just kind of flipping through lots and lots of listings, there's one way to make your photo stand out, and that's enhancement, right? So if you go to our website and click on photography, and then on photography, I'll show you where this is. So hopefully you guys can see my screen right now. So this is our main website. Just go under menu, go to photography. On the photography page, if you scroll down, you'll see the add color. It's right there in the middle, that virtual twilight. If you add virtual twilight to the exterior shot, it really makes it pop when it's one exterior shot at the front of the house among dozens of other exterior shots, right? So you want to make that listing pop, you want to make that stand out, definitely add the virtual twilight. You can come here and kind of see the difference between like a standard photo versus the virtual twilight that makes it look really warm and inviting. Great question. Thank you so much for bringing that up. There's a question about what is the tour product, is where you can view the tour and view the video at the same time. So let me go ahead and pull up an example of this. While I'm pulling up the example, if anybody else has any other questions, please feel free to go into those there. Type those into the chat box. All right, I'm going to share my screen. You should see 1075 Cedar Chase Court. So this is a listing that has a floor plan tour on it. And I have recorded a video here in the bottom.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the agent on this property. I'd like to take you through 1075 Cedar Chase Court. This is a $1.2 million listing in Herndon, Virginia. It's a 5-bedroom, 5 full bath listing with a 3-car garage. If you hover over the floor plan tour, you'll be able to see the photos that correspond with each room throughout the property. You can press pause anytime on this video to take your own tour through the property or listen to me navigate as we go through the levels. On the main level, you'll notice that there is a breathtaking entry with 12-foot ceilings and a great room with expansive views. You can also hover over the sunroom, which is filled with natural light. There's also an office with a door, which I think we can all use right about now. After you are done looking around the first floor, if you go to the upper floor, you'll notice that the master bedroom has tray ceilings and a very expansive sitting room and master bath. There's a soaking tub and a shower with beautiful tile work throughout. Also notice on this floor that the extra bedrooms all have their own ensuite bath. Once you're finished looking at the second floor, if you go to the lower level, check out the massive amounts of storage. Thank you so much for visiting this property, and please contact us if you have any questions. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the agent.
Okay, so hopefully you guys were able to kind of see that. I basically just recorded myself on my phone. And then as we were watching it, I just hovered my mouse over the different rooms. So as a potential buyer, I would be the one listening to the video and kind of hovering over the different rooms. So I don't typically stay in one spot for too long. It really depends on how you want to sell the house. You can tell them that you're going to click through each level and mention one item on each level. You can get in more detail in terms of talking very specifically about each room. Just give them a minute to hover their mouse over a different area. So the way that I coordinated there's a question here, how did you coordinate your cell phone narrative with the virtual tour? So what I did was I went to specific areas of the floor plan tour that I thought were awesome, and I made notes about that. So as a potential buyer, I would want to know about this sunroom because it's filled with natural light, which is really unique to find that. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Also, the whole, the bathrooms, the ensuite upstairs, that's going to be key, right? When you have a lot of people staying with you. So I wanted to mention that too. So I just made these notes to myself, and then I recorded my video talking about these notes. And then I just made sure as I was narrating the property to say, okay, now since you're looking at the floor plan tour, what I'd like you to do is take your mouse and hover over the sunroom. That's the best way to coordinate that right now. There's a question, it looks like pictures pop onto the screen, not an actual tour. Right, so this is the TruPlace traditional floor plan tour. What we're doing is we're adding this video so that you can keep your brand, keep your face in front of prospective buyers. So you're recording this DIY video and uploading it to your client portal, and then we are inserting that onto the tour. So nothing's physically changing about the floor plan tour. You guys love that product, which is awesome. It's just that it's adding another layer of keeping your face in front of the prospective buyer. I hope that made sense. Are there any other questions about that particular product? There's another question here about, do you stay in one spot to describe the features of the house, or do you go from room to room? So like I said, I'm assuming that anybody looking at this video has a very short attention span. So what I did was I looked through the house first and identified 2 or 3 things about the house that I thought were big selling points. And then I recorded myself talking about those selling points, because whoever is clicking on this video can just watch the video and then go click through, right? Or they can try and correspond my narrative, with clicking on it. But either way, it's a great way to keep your face and brand in front of folks, even while we have to be 6 feet apart these days. So again, this is, everybody's on mute today, so I won't be able to hear you. Yeah, I need you to type your questions into that chat box on the GoToWebinar control panel. There's a question here, does TruPlace have a 3D tour? Yes, TruPlace has a 3D tour. I'm going to jump back onto my computer screen here. So if you just go to our homepage here at TruPlace and you click on menu, go down to virtual tours, you see we have 3 different types of virtual tours. TruFusion is our 3D version. This example is from Fairfield Drive. This is a 3D tour, 3D virtual tour that you click through. So this is one way to navigate and walk through the house. This is our 3D tour product called TruFusion. The great thing about our 3D tours is that you're able to see beautiful views out the window from every room. If you haven't already listened to the webinar for virtual open houses, I would highly recommend doing that because I give a really long demo of each of these products. These are great questions, guys. Are there any other questions before we kind of wrap up today? Again, really appreciate you guys joining me on a Friday before a long weekend. That's dedication, pure dedication. Really appreciate it. If you have any questions that I did not get to answer for you today, please feel free to just email me anytime. We'll get to your questions as soon as possible over email, but if you think of something after we conclude today that we weren't able to answer for you, please feel free to just email us. All right. It looks like those are all the questions that we had for today. I don't think I missed any. If you think of anything again after we conclude, please feel free to just send me an email. Thank you guys so much for joining. I want you to stress less and know that TruPlace is here for you. We're constantly trying to think of ways to make things better for you. Thank you guys so much for joining. Everybody have a great and safe weekend. Oh, there's one more question. Are all videos accepted by Bright? Yes, yes, we have an MLS approved version. We'll check the box that it's MLS approved and we'll get that on MLS. I think it just strips out the video and puts the audio on there. All right, great questions. Thank you guys so much. Everybody stay safe and have a great weekend.